Good morning and welcome.
It's not crackle pop.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome. Let's get ready to begin our practice. We'll start today in child's pose. So Lindsay, go ahead and give us the demonstration of child's pose. Open up your knees a little bit wider than your mat. Maybe bring the toes together, bring the heels together. And then start walking your hands forward, laying down, finding a forward fold onto the mat. As you come down, as you let the torso down, let the head down, scan your body, and then begin to soften every joint, every muscle, and every bit. Begin with the knees and the toes and the thighs. Then come up to the hips, into the belly, the ribs and the shoulders. Everything is softened as we go through it. The elbows, the palms, and the fingertips. As if gravity just has you down and is pulling you to the ground, and there's nothing you can do to fight. Release the forehead on the mat, and begin to soften the breath. When we say softening the breath, as in release the active breathing, let the air come in and out naturally. Let the lungs do the work, and you be the observer of the breath, the watcher and the feeler. Allow the breath to move in and out through the body. Allow this softness, this subtle take of air in, and this exhale out. A couple more breaths here. Begin to bring your attention inwards, towards your heart, towards your body. Be aware of yourself on the mat. On the next inhale, lean up, come into your hands and knees, tabletop, neutral spine position. Let's move through a couple of cat-cows here. Inhale, look forward, drop the belly, arch the back, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, lift up from the shoulder blades, bringing the pelvis and the heart all the way up. Inhale, drop the belly, set the gaze forward, arch the back. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the back, lift up from the heart, pelvis, belly button comes in. Move back and forth here, move freely with your cat-cow motion. Take the full inhale out, elongate the spine, extend, bend, and then take the full exhale out. Lift up from the heart, bring the pelvis in, bring everything in and up. Inhale, look forward, exhale, come in. Take a couple of breaths here, move in and out. Get the full range of your breath and get the full range of your exhale. Find that full range that's unique to your body. And stay with it and breathe through it. Now begin to add some movements here with the wrist, the shoulders, the knees, the hips. Move around, move freely. Find a specific location. Find a movement that feels really good for your body and go for it. As you do so, as you move and explore your body, make note of what feels good here and make note of what doesn't feel good. Keep the breath in and out. You don't have to necessarily time the breath with the movements. Just keep it active. Keep it flowing in and out. And slowly begin to make your way back up to your tabletop neutral spine position. Tuck the feet underneath and lift up the knees an inch or two off the mat. This fires up the core, fires up the thighs, the knees. In fact, the whole body's fired up here, from the shoulders to the fingertips all the way down to the toes. One more breath here. On the exhale, lift up the hips, come into your first down dog, walk the heels in place, right heel up, left heel up. Find some movements, find some fluidity. Once you've moved around a little bit, let's find stillness in our down dog. Open up the hands shoulder width apart, spread the palms and the fingertips on the mat. Feet are hip width apart, toes are pointing forward. Lift up the hips a little bit higher as you press the mat down and away, lengthening from the toes all the way up to the spine. One more breath here. Soften the knees as you walk to the front of the mat. Come into your forward fold. Inhale halfway, lengthen the spine, adjust the body, press into your legs, shoulders away from ears, set the gaze down to the mat. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees, inhale, rise all the way up, reach up and high. Exhale, hands to heart. Finish the breath and finish the movement. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, reach up and high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway, lengthen, adjust, shoulders away, gaze down, neck flat. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees, take your feet back to your plank position. Lean forward, bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana, all the way down to the mat. Keep the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, Cobra, lift up the torso, lift up the neck. Keep the elbows towards the ribs. Keep the hips grounded. Exhale, fold down. Tuck the feet, roll back to your knees. From your knees, rise into your down dog. Lift up the hips. Walk it out one more time. Find fluidity, find softness in the body. Let's settle in here for 5 long breaths. Spreading the hands on the mat, spreading the feet, spreading the toes and the fingertips. Pressing the mat down and away, finding length from the fingertips all the way to the hips. Lifting the hips a little bit higher, draw your core inside the body. On the next exhale, soften the knees, come to the front, forward fold. This time, stay in forward fold as you walk your heels in place here. Right heel comes up, left heel comes up, and you find your way kind of dancing through your hips. Inhale, lengthen, shoulders away, neck in line with the spine. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise, reach up and high. Exhale, hands to heart. Finish the breath and finish the movements. Okay. Now see if you can face forward to the camera. Thank you. Release the hands off to the side. As you inhale, take your hands up above your head. Keep your hands above the head. Loosen up the shoulders a little bit, set the gaze forward. Find the location here where you're nice and comfortable. Keep the breathing, keep the body active. As you grab your right wrist with the left hand, give a slight tug upwards. On the next exhale, lean over towards the left side of the body. Try to keep your hips in line, try to keep your shoulders in line, try to bring your bicep close to your ears. If you find your head leaning back a little bit, come back. You might need to come forward a little bit. One more breath here. On the exhale, come back to neutral, release the hands off to the sides and shake it off. And let's do the other side. Inhale, take the hands above the head. On the exhale, grab your right wrist. Slight tug. On the exhale, lean over towards the right side of the body. Elongation, length from the hip into the ribs, the shoulders, wrists, and the fingertips. Take your hips off to the right side as you lean over the left side, as you lean over to the right side. One more breath here. On the exhale, come back up. This time, palms together. On the inhale, rise, lift up, and see if you can find a small back bend here. One more breath. On the exhale, come back forward. Hands to heart, pause, notice, feel samastiti. Acknowledge your presence. Then release the hands off to the side. On the next breath, inhale, take the hands up. Reach up and high with the hands. Exhale, fold forward. And as if you can face the front of the mat. Come up to the front of the mat if you haven't done so already. Inhale halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees and take the feet back towards a plank position. Pause here for a second. Let's establish our plank. Open up the feet hip width, open up the hands shoulder width apart. Draw the core inside the body as you lean over to the right side, taking the left hand to the sky. Find your side plank. Lift up the hips a little bit higher. One more breath here. On the exhale, bring the left hand back down to the mat. Reset. Prepare to go to the other side. Roll over to the left side as the right hand goes up to the sky. Length from the heels all the way to the hips, hips all the way to the shoulders. Lift up the hips a little bit higher, draw the core inside the body, exhale, hand to the mat. Lean forward, bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or cobra. If you're an up dog, only the tops of the feet are on your mat. If you're cobra, the hips are on the mat. On the exhale, tuck the feet, roll over the hips, take the hips all the way up, come into your down dog position, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Heels pressing into the mat, toes pointing forward, hands shoulder width apart, hips lift up a little bit higher, press the mat down and away. One more breath here. On the next inhale, reach up and high with the right foot. Keep it there for a second. Neutralize the hips in line. Right hip a little bit lower. Heel kicking out, toes pointing down. Exhale, swing the foot underneath you, place it in between the hands. Keep the back heel up. Set yourself up, find your balance, frame the front foot. On the next inhale, rise. Lift up the hands, lift up the torso. Take the hands to the sky and come into your crescent lunge. Left hip a little bit forward, right hip a little bit back. Back leg is strong, nice and elongated. Back heel all the way up. Front knee above the front ankles pointing forward. Draw the core inside the body. Exhale, frame the front foot. Take the front foot to the back. Lift up the hips to your down dog. Walk your heels in place here. Find some movement, find some fluidity. Let's reset the spine. Press the mat down and away. Find length in the hips. One more breath here. On the next inhale, left leg goes all the way up. Stays up for 1 second as you neutralize the hips. Left hip a little bit down, right hip up. Left heel out, left toes pointing down. Exhale, swing the foot underneath you, place it in between the hands. Keep your back heel up as you frame your front foot. Find your balance, find your control. On the next inhale, lift up. Take the hands to the sky. Torso rises, crown of the head rises, everything lifts up. Back heel is up, back leg is strong. Right hip a little bit forward, left hip a little bit back. Front knee above the front ankle. Draw the core in and up towards the heart. One more breath. On the exhale, come down, frame the front foot. Take the front foot to the back. Drop your knees, take a child's pose. Lift, come back, set the heels, set the thighs, the hips on the heels. Hands can remain to the front or they can go all the way to the back. Set the forehead on the mat and pause. Take a second here to regain your momentum, regain your breath, to regain your presence. On the next inhale, come up to your hands and knees. Keep your hips above your knees, bring the knees together, bring the heels together. As you start walking your hands out to the mat, finding your melted heart to mat or your puppy pose. Finding length in the spine, length in the shoulders and the wrists. See if you can bring your knees a little bit closer. If not, they can stay like that. Maybe tuck the feet underneath so it gives you a grip on your heels. And keep the breath in and out. One more breath here. On the next inhale, bend the elbows, go ahead, come on up, bring the hands underneath the shoulders and keep the knees underneath the hips. Tuck your feet underneath you, lift up your hips, come into your down dog, resetting the spine, pressing the mat down and away, finding length from the wrist all the way up to the hips. Lift the hips a little bit higher, lift the heels a little bit higher this time, draw the core in, soften the knees, come to the front, find your forward fold. Walk your heels in place, find some fluidity, maybe grab the elbows, right elbow, left elbow, move around, shake your head, yes and no, loosen up a little bit here. Release the hands back down to the mat. As you inhale halfway, lengthening the spine, shoulders away from the ears, gaze down, neck in line with the spine. Hinging at the hips, exhale, fold forward. Soften the knees, reverse swan dive up, take the hands to the sky, reach up and high, finish the breath, finish the movements, hands to the heart, pause, notice, and feel samastiti. Release the hands off to the side. On the next breath, take the hands up and high, reach up and high with the hands. On the exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Bend the knees, sink the hips, take the hands high. Open up the hands shoulder width apart. Sink the hips a little bit lower, neutralize your pelvis. Draw the core inside the body. Exhale, palms together, close to the heart. Sink down, right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Find your twist. Keep the knees above the ankles. Sink the hips a little bit higher. See if you can align your elbows. Left elbow on top of the right elbow. Length from the crown and gaze over towards the left side of the body. One more breath here. On the exhale, frame the front foot, fold forward, walk the heels in place. Right heel comes up, left heel comes up. On the next breath, bend the knees, Utkatasana, lift up the hands, chair pose. Sink the hips a little bit lower, draw the core in. Maybe open up the hands a little bit wider if they feel a little tight. One more breath here. On the exhale, palms together to the heart, sink down, left elbow outside right knee. Find that connection. From the connection, use that twist, that torque in the spine. Keep the length in the crown. Notice Lindsay is elongating the crown. See if you can line up your right elbow above your left elbow. Sink the hips a little bit lower. One more breath. Exhale, come down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Walk the heels in place. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees, take the feet back to your plank position. Lean forward, Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep the elbows in, up dog or cobra. Exhale, Ardha Mukhas, down dog. Lift up the hips, tuck the feet, come into your down dog. One breath here. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Inhale, right leg goes up, right knee bends, hips stacked, take the knee to the sky. Align your hips together. Readjust your hands to bear most of the weight balanced on both shoulders. Keep the left heel up, keep the left toes pointing forward. One more breath here. On the exhale, right knee swings underneath your right foot in between the hands. Drop the back heel, warrior two, back foot parallel. Inhale, rise, right hand forward, left hand back. Come into this posture first and then make your adjustments. Scan your body. Is your back foot parallel? Back leg is strong, fully elongated. Front knee remains above the front ankle. Keep that symmetry in the joints. Keep the right toes pointing forward. Try to get your hips in line as you draw your core into the body and up towards the heart. Reach your right hand forward and reach the left hand back, lengthening the hands. And then inhale, right hand goes up, left hand slides down, exalted warrior, open up. With the right hand, reach up and reach back. Find extension from the hips, ribs, and shoulders. One more breath here. On the exhale, front elbow comes to the front knee. Use that elbow to open up the knee. Right hand goes up and forward, side stretch. Length, elongation from the heel all the way up to the wrist. One more breath here. On the exhale, lower the right hand to the mat, left hand straight forward, straight up. Find the straight line from the right hand to the left hand. Keep the breathing. Maybe take the right hand underneath your thigh. See if you can reach back with the left hand and find your fingertips. Find your hands together. If you do, find your bind. Set the gaze over the left shoulder. One more breath here. Exhale, release the hands, frame the front foot, lift up the back heel, drop the knee, take a small low lunge here. Find some release in the hips and the thighs. Keep your hands on the mat. Take the back knee back if you need adjustments. One more breath here. Tuck the back foot, lift up the back knee. Windmill yourself up to your warrior two one more time. Left hand back, right hand forward. Take a deep breath here. On the exhale, windmill back down to the mat. Lift up the back heel, back foot to the front, forward fold. Walk your heels in place. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise, reach up and high. Take the hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Seal the breath, seal the movements. Seal your mind. And release the hands off to the side. On the next breath, inhale, reach up and high with the hands. On the exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, lengthen, adjust. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. Take the feet back to your plank position. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, lean forward, bend the elbows, keep them tucked in. Up dog or cobra on the inhale. On the exhale, down dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take the hips up, open up the feet. One breath here in down dog. On the next inhale, left foot comes up, bend the left knee, stack the hips. Take the knee to the sky as you stack your hips on top of each other. Keep your right leg strong. Keep your right heel up, right toes pointing forward. Neutralize the weight on both shoulders, fingertips pointing to the front. Press the mat down and away. On the next exhale, swing the knee underneath you. Place the left foot in between the hands. Drop the back heel to your warrior two, right toes pointing out, right foot flat on the mat. Inhale, rise. Left hand forward, right hand back, Virabhadrasana 2. Once you get into this posture, now you can lengthen, you can adjust your feet and your body. Back foot is parallel. Back heel pressing in, back foot is strong and elongated, back leg. Hips are in line as the front knee remains above the front ankle, front toes pointing forward. Draw the core inside the body, reach back with the back hand, reach forward with the right hand, left hand, length from the crown. One more breath here. Turn the palms up, lean a little bit forward, open up. Front hand goes up, back hand slides down the back leg. Exalted warrior. As you find length with the hand, reach up and back with the hand, find some elongation from the hips, elbows, and shoulders. One more breath here. Exhale, front elbow meets the front knee. Use that to open up the front knee as you swing your hand forward and up to a side stretch. Find length from the heel all the way up to the palm. One more breath here. Inhale. On the exhale, left hand to the mat, right hand straight up. Keep the breath. If you have the bind, go for it. Lean forward, take the left hand underneath the left thigh, right hand behind the back. Set the gaze over the right shoulder as you lengthen and you grow and you twist towards the right side. One more breath here. Exhale, frame the front foot. Lift up the back heel, square the hips, drop the back knee. Find a slow, low lunge. Keep your hands on the mat here. Keep your torso pointing forward as you find some release in the hips and release in the thighs. One more breath here. On the next inhale, tuck the back foot, lift up the back knee, press into the front mat. Windmill up to your warrior two, drop in the back heel, taking the right hand back, left hand forward. Find your warrior two one more time. Deep breath in. On the exhale, frame the front foot, lift up the back heel, back foot meets the front foot, Uttanasana, forward fold. Walk your hips in place, find some release, find some fluidity. On the next breath, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen, adjust the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Reach up and high with the hands. On the exhale, hands to heart. Samastiti, pause, notice, and feel. Then release the hands off to the side. Turn to the front of the camera, turn to the front of the room. So Lindsay, if you could sort of face the camera, thank you. Open up your feet hip width apart, toes pointing forward. Soften the knees slightly as you engage your thighs. Neutralize the pelvis. Roll the shoulders forward and back, opening up the heart space, opening up the ribs. Turn the palms facing forward. Set the gaze neutral. Lift the crown up, lengthen the spine. Tadasana, mountain pose. Now, from the muscle to the bone to the body, engage everything, bring everything in towards heart space, towards the center. Your entire body is active as if you're clenching yourself, actively engaging and creating energy in your body. And then release. Soften the eyes, soften the body. Just stand there, let the hands way off to the side, and pause and feel for a second. As the perseverance is the yogic path, the surrender is also the way forward and the yogic path. And go ahead and open up your eyes and shake it off. Find some movements here, jump up and down, shake your hands, shake your fingertips. Just release all the energy, create some vibration in your body. Nice dance.
Thanks. Just really good.
And then go ahead, coming into standing. Bring your feet together, toes together, heels together, knees together. I like to start balancing postures, my legs straight together. They don't have to be completely closed. We're going to get into eagle pose here, Garudasana. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, take the hands to the sky. Find your Utkatasana, your chair. Open up the hands, shoulder width apart. Release the hands off to the side as you take your right knee over the left knee. See if you can bind your foot behind, your right foot behind your left foot. Use your hands to kind of counterbalance yourself up here to find that connection. Your toes can remain on the mat just to find the balance at first, or you can wrap your foot behind your calf. Pause here, find that connection on the balance on the left leg, and then take the right elbow underneath the left, swing the hands in front of you, right elbow under the left elbow, find your palms together, clench your elbows together in front of you. Lift up the elbows a little bit higher as you sink the hips a little bit lower. Set the gaze forward. One more breath here. Release the hands, release the foot, come out of it, shake it off. Prepare to do the other side. Bring the feet together, toes together, knees together. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, Utkatasana, take the hands to the sky, reach up, chair pose. Soften up a little bit, find your balance, find your grounding, your connection. Then take the left knee over the right knee. Either keep the right left toes on the mat or bind the left foot behind the right calf, whichever feels better for you. Sink the hips a little bit lower as you swing the hands in front of you. Left elbow underneath right elbow this time. Clench your hands together, palms together. Lift up the elbows a little bit higher, sink the hips a little bit lower. Lift the crown up, find some length in the back. Draw the core inside the body and release. Unbind the elbows, unbind the knees, come up, shake it off. Bring the feet together, knees together one more time. Let's get into our tree pose, our balancing pose. Sink into the right side of the body. Sink that right side, sink into the right leg, sink the right hip. Find some balance here. Take the left heel to the right ankle, left toes remain on the mat. Pause here for a second, find your balance. Point the left knee out, keep the hips in line. Bring the hands together, palms together, thumbs close to the heart. Pause, find your balance, and find your connectivity to the ground. And then from here, from your balance, you can choose to lift the left foot to the calf or to the thigh. Avoid the knee. And then find your drishti, your focal point, a place on the wall, on the ground, where you can concentrate on and be here. When you're done, be done. Release the hands, release the feet, and just shake it off. And let's do the other side. Come in, feet together, knees together. Bend the right knee, take the right heel to the left ankle. As you sink into your left side, find that balance on the left side. Try to keep your hips in line, try to keep the right knee pointing out. Bring your hands together, palms together, thumbs close to the heart. Find your focal point, your drishti. From this point of balance, you can move up. Or you can stay here and enjoy this place. Wherever you are, make sure you're balanced and make sure you're aware of your presence. And when you're done, be done. Release the hands, release the foot, come out of it. Let it go. Lindsay, if you can come up to the front of the mat, please. Thank you. Bend the knees and sink all the way down. Tuck your chin to the chest. Roll one vertebrae at a time. Come down slowly. Come down softly all the way down. Once your hands hit the mat and the knees, take your feet all the way out to the mat. Come onto your belly. Release the hands off to the side. Nothing to do here. Sink onto your belly. Let's take a mini Shavasana. Let it go. Let it settle. Let the spine reset. Let the hips open up and reset. Let everything find its natural location. We'll go into a couple of back bends here. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, keep the elbows tucked into the ribs. Inhale, lift up the spine, lift up the gaze, find your Bhujangasana Cobra. On the exhale, fold back down. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, fingertips pointing forward, hands parallel to the mat. Notice how her elbows are directly underneath her shoulders. Bring the feet together, optional. Set the gaze forward, lift the crown up, find your Sphinx pose. In Sphinx, we have both compression of the lower back and extension of the abdominal of the front. On the next breath, take your elbows off to the side, stack your palms, rest your forehead or your cheek on your hands in front of you. Now reach back with the hands, point the fingertips back towards the feet. Engage everything. On the next inhale, everything rises. Hands, feet, torso, chest, everything comes up, coming into locust pose. Engage the core, point the fingertips back, point the toes back, lift the crown up, nice back bend, Lindsay. Exhale, come down, let it go. Release the forehead and the cheeks on the mat, and soften the body. Bend your knees, take the feet to the sky, open up the knees hip width apart, and windshield wiper your knees left and right. Now, bring the heels close to the tush, close to the thighs. Reach back and see if you can grab your feet with your hands. If you're here, pause. Stay here, adjust yourself, see if you can bring your knees a little bit closer. See if you can move your shoulders away from your ears. Now, see if you can set your gaze forward. If the gaze is forward, try lifting up the torso by kicking the feet up to the sky, lifting the shoulders away from the ears, lifting the crown coming into your bow pose. Core is engaged. One more breath here. On the exhale, release, come down, let it go. Tuck your feet, bring your hand under your shoulders, come back to a child's pose. Lift all the way up, sink your hips or your thighs on your ankles and your calves. Let it go. Soften the body here, nothing to do. On the next inhale, walk your hands close to your body, lift the torso up. Take your hip off to the side, take your feet forward. Keep your heels together, toes together. Inhale, rise, lift the hands up, reach up and high with the hands. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, fold forward. Soften the body here. Try not to pull or push yourself down. This is a passive forward fold. The head and the upper body are heavy enough to give you that press or pull down if you just release and soften the hips and the shoulders. On the next inhale, walk your hands close to your body as you come all the way down to the back and laying on your back. Keep the knees bent at first, keep the feet on the mat, keep the knees high. Open up the feet about mat width apart as you windshield wiper your knees left and right. Find some release here in the hips, the thighs, the joints, the knees, the ankles. Bring your knees in for a hug, wrap your hands around your calf, your shin, your knee, wherever you can, and press your legs into your body. Maybe lift up the nose or the forehead to meet the knees, get into a tighter ball here. Release the feet, release the knees on the mat. Take your right knee over the left knee, stacking your knees on top of each other. As you take your hips to the right, lowering the knees all the way down to the left side. Reach out with the right hand to the right side at the same time, reach out with the left hand to the left side. Set your gaze over the right side of the body, over the right shoulder, and then soften the body, soften the breath, and soften the mind. On the next inhale, bring your knees back up as you release your knees. Take your left knee over the right knee. Shift your hips slightly to the left as you lower your knees down to the right side of the body. Reach out with the left hand, reach out with the right hand, find extension, and then set the gaze over towards the left side, left shoulder, as you slowly soften the hips, the shoulders, the thighs, and the knees. Try to keep your shoulders grounded, connected to the mat. On the next breath, take the knees up, unwind your knees. Bring your knees in for a hug, wrap your hands around your legs. Bring your legs closer or tighter to your body. And then kick the heels up to the sky, find an inversion. Keep your hips grounded, place your hands on the side, keep your shoulders grounded to the mat. Maybe flex your toes, flex your ankles, your heels. Bend your knees, bring your feet closer, clasp the insides of the arch of the feet with your hands. Open up towards your happy baby, press the knees into the ground, to the mat, the shoulders. Same time opening the toes off to the side. And then maybe rock side to side, left and right, back and forth. A nice little massage of the lower back and the middle back. When you're done with this, release the feet, take the feet all the way out to the mat. Find our last posture, our corpse pose, or Shavasana. Place the hands along the side of the body, let the toes flop out, let the shoulders sink down, hips, belly, thighs, and knees. Everything is soft in this posture. Soften the breath, let the flow come in and out naturally. Scan your body mentally. Start with the forehead, end with the toes. Notice how you feel. Notice how your body feels. And as always, allow yourself to experience this moment, the place you call here and now.